The Art of the Steal. Metascore only about 53 on IMDb, which means critics have not been impressed. Nonetheless, I beg to differ. I think it was interesting, captivating, and quite amusing. Um, it looks like somewhat like Snatch, a Guy Ritchie movie, perhaps Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. But it is still different. It has a fast pace. It has twists and interesting ideas in the domain, that is. A great cast. Kurt Russell is Crunch. Matt Damon is his brother, Nicky. We have the great Terence Stamp. This is not in a movie like The Queen of the Desert, but his presence, his remarks, the tone, the mimicry, everything is wonderful. Samuel. And what happens at the beginning, they're trying to have a job, a successful job in Poland. They sell to a sort of a mobster a painting that is supposed to be by a great artist. I know it's Seurat later, but this one was what? Another impressionist? Anyway, only there's a fake. They have a very good painter who's specializing in fakes, in copies of masterpieces, and they nearly pull the job off. Only in the limousine, as he's moving from the scene, the mobster is looking and is amused and happy, looking up, when one of his bodyguards asks, what happened, boss? Are you bleeding from your finger? And he's looking and it's paint he has. Returning, smashed into Nicky's taxi, which is a Trabant, I think. And that's terrible because that was a car made of cardboard, plastified cardboard, something like that. So you can imagine how strong and safe that thing can be. German though, East German. We had plenty of jokes with that and the other types of cars, brands made here. How do you double the price of such a car? You just fill the tank. Why do they have heating on a rear window to keep your hands warm when you push and so on? So Nicky is selling his brother to the police, to cut a long story short. And hence, Crunch is sent to jail for, what was it? 10, 12 years. He's out in 5.5, but a long way. They keep saying this. I'd say it once, twice, or maybe 3 times. About inmates. Inmates say that you remember 2 days, mostly, from the day you go in and the day you go out. Well, for this experience, maybe he says something like, here you remember every moment. When he's out, apparently his brother Nicky is willing to make up, to have peace and get Crunch out of the business he's in, wherein he jumps over cars. He's a specialist in driving the motorbike. That's what he did for that job with the painting. So reluctantly, Crunch accepts. Only there's a twist there. Sometimes we can take this advantage, seeing that very few people select creme de la creme audiences watching this. And not to this point, presumably. We can take advantage of that and not upsetting anybody with a spoiler alert, with a clue to the ending, which is so smart, because we think all along Nicky is again trying to cheat. He's a cheater. On the street, it's sort of amusing, but he's stealing as he moves along and talks to his brother, Crunch. He's stealing wallets from people, even if he's talking of a thing which is in excess of $1 million, maybe more. A heist which would take out Gutenberg Bible, not the first, but the second, according to John something. Anyway, extremely valuable. Somebody will pay 1.2 million for that. That's the idea. The Reverend, some guy nicknamed the Reverend. And as he moves along the street, he also picks the pocket, takes the wallet from a child, 9-year-old. So this is Nicky. But there may be a surprise in this very good movie, according to yours truly.